difference with qualitative research. It's been several weeks since I've made one of these videos, and it's largely because I've just frankly been so bummed out with some of the awful racial violence and terrorism and so on that's been going on in the world, and just been kind of down in the dumps about it. So I decided that this next video should be something about how we might make a real difference in the world with our research. And there's lots of jokes about the ivory tower and that we only speak to ourselves. And I'm here to tell you that I don't see that. I do see many of us making a difference with our work. And so I wanted to highlight a couple of examples and say a little bit about how they make this happen. We can make a difference in our research, not only when other people pick up our articles, but also by translating that research to public audiences immediately. That can be done in white papers, writing in trade journals or other mediated spaces, and participating in plays and much more. So what do we need to do in order to have that happen? One of the things is becoming profoundly simple. That doesn't mean that our message is simple, but in order to get the audiences that we want oftentimes to listen, we need to at least hook them with speaking in a way that they can hear. And this is a skill. Oftentimes it takes as much or more effort to speak simply about a complex subject than it does to speak in complex ways. So who's doing this well? One example I would point out is Dr. Karma Chavez. She is more of a researcher and well known with her work in rhetoric, but has also done qualitative research methods. And she has actually put together and been the host for a community radio station on public affairs, WORT 89.9 in Madison. And I know they will sorely miss her when she's going to University of Texas, Austin this fall. And she says that doing this radio station commentary and hosting took hours of time to practice and master, but that it was a way to have voice and have some sort of impact immediately outside of the academy. And so you can still check out the archives of that. Another great example is Dr. Keith Berry at University of South Florida and also past chair of the ethnography division. He's been doing groundbreaking work on youth and bullying, and his book that I'll cite in my notes here vividly exposes the heartbreak and resilience of those who are bullied when they are children and youth. And Keith tells his own magnificent story of resilience when he was faced with this in his own life. And he's not just, though, written the book. He's done other work so that this has an immediate impact. So, for example, he did a workshop at the University of South Florida with their honors program on bullying. He also participated in a post-play panel discussant forum position for an activist play that was on bullying. His work has also included media relations. His work, and I'll cite this again in the notes, included a feature article in the Tampa Bay Times and also participating in a live television focus spotlight on his research. And doing this thing, I know from my own experience, is not for the faint of heart. Oh my gosh, TV commentators, and you'll see this in Keith's interview if you take a look, can sometimes make off-the-wall comments, ask unexpected questions, and Keith gracefully navigates this in his interview and is able to quickly get across to a wide audience some of the tragedies associated with youth bullying, and also how they might be best managed or dealt with. As part of his bullying research as well, he's become co-director of the National Communication Association Task Force on Anti-Bullying. Did I say that right? The Anti-Bullying Task Force. Anyway, I'll write it in the notes so you have it exactly. But this was an effort, I believe it was started by our past NCA president, Christy Beck. And among other things, this group of scholars has put together a digital repository on the NCA website of bullying research and resources, so that anyone who is dealing with this issue, whether they're a school teacher, a parent, an employee who's being faced with workplace bullying, they have an immediate place to go to find freely available and downloadable resources. So those are just a few inspiring examples about people who are making a difference, a real difference in the world with their research. And I think especially at times like we've dealt with recently, it's inspiring to know that we do more than just build theory and so on. We really can make an impact. And so I hope you'll take a look and consider ways that you might make an impact in your own research.